Hey guys, Pritch here, Bob Pritchard, aka Pritch, coming at you from Cape Cod to announce my CDT Continental Divide Trail NOBO attempt this spring. And it's Friday, April 24th, and I'm actually starting on Sunday, April 22nd. It's been a whirlwind preparation, and things have been quite crazy. But if you haven't seen any of my YouTube videos, I have done a number of other hikes. I did the Appalachian Trail in 2018. I've done the PCT. That took several efforts. I did an extra probably 900 miles on that one, almost 3,500 miles or so, but I did it all. Last year I did the Colorado Trail in 2025. I've done the Vermont Long Trail. I do a lot of hiking in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. And as I mentioned, I'm in Cape Cod today, but I have like a mountain getaway. I know I'm spoiled. I am retired, and so I split my time between Cape Cod and the White Mountains of New Hampshire. But I've long wanted to attempt the CDT in all its challenges that primarily expose my weak points, which is navigation. Even when the trail is well marked, I've usually hiked off into oblivion, and this one is less well marked than any others. But in any case, so again, this Saturday, today's Friday afternoon, I'm going to be flying from Boston to Dallas, then on to El Paso, then taking a 3+ hour Greyhound bus to Lordsburg. So I don't get even into Lordsburg, New Mexico, until around 8 o'clock at night, if all goes well, according to the schedules. Then the next morning at 6 a.m., the Continental Divide Trail Association, CDTA, sponsors a ride to the southern terminus. These are all on off-road trucks. It's about a 3 to 3.5 hour ride to the southern terminus, to the so-called Crazy Cook Monument. And it's historically been an incredibly remote area. However, this year changed for two reasons. First, the Trump administration required background checks for anyone going to that area because the corner of the trail is, I think, technically part of Fort Huchera, if I get that right, an Army base, and it's right at the border, and you know, our fear of people approaching the border in the wrong directions. So I did get my security clearance, so that will allow them to drop me off directly at the terminus. The other thing that's going on is the immigration barrier. The walls are actually under construction in the area. It was really quite a pristine and barren area, and now there's a fair amount of construction going on in the area. But that won't impact me. It's all 10 feet behind me, right at the Mexican border, and I'm heading north. So Sunday morning, I will take that 3+ hour truck trip to the southern terminus, the Crazy Cook Monument, and head north. Now, I may not, there's a good chance I won't do the full trail, which is about 3,000 miles, pretty dang long. There's just things going on in my life. I've become a big brother over a year ago, and I feel like it's important to spend time with my so-called little, who needs me, and I appreciate his company as well. But in any case, so if I don't do the full through, then there's a convenient exit point about 1,000 miles in. Last year when I did the Colorado Trail, the CDT and the Colorado Trail often overlapped, and then they split ways just outside of Silverton. So I think that'd be about 970 miles, maybe 1,000 to that point, and then I could hike down over a steep hill and hike either into Silverton, but there's also, I could hitchhike to Durango from there, where I could catch a bus back to Denver, Or alternatively, there's a narrow gauge railroad, which is very cool. That runs between Durango and Silverton. Very cool. I rode on that last year and thought it was quite fun. So that might be an option as well, because it goes back and forth. So heck, if I'm lucky, maybe I take the train into Silverton for a burger and take the train back to Durango to find a place to stay for the night and clean up before I take a bus back to the Denver and sort my return flights. But in any case, there's an excellent chance I'll do about 1,000-mile lash. And if I do that, when I say lash, that means long-ass section hike. So if that happens, then my tentative plans would be to go to Glacier National Park in July of 2027 and head south and make my way to Colorado, at which point I would have finished the Continental Divide Trail, at which point I would have finished all the 3 majors, which makes me, woohoo, triple crowner. But in any case, those are the plans, which often change, especially when you're an old dude. I'm 65 years old, and I'm not without having had injuries on the trail or approaching the trail with injuries, including this year, because I look old, but there's actually a teenager inside me. I was doing some really heavy stone work in early winter, and I tore my rotator cuff and my bicep tendon. My bicep slid right down to my elbow. Oh my God, you could have heard me states away screaming. But in any case, after a few weeks, they scheduled surgery, and I had surgery, and I've been recovering ever since. So my shoulder and bicep are still sore. I did 2 months of physical therapy, and I'm told not to. I use these little tiny barbells. Most of them are pink, because you can only find barbells 1 to 5 pounders in pink. But right now I'm on 4 and 5 pounders, whereas I used to do bicep curls with like 35 pounders. Now I'm 4 pounds and I'm wasted. And I'm told to pretty much stay on that for a year. So it's a pretty long recovery. So that happened to me, and that really set back my conditioning and training. Just walking hurt. So I am out of shape. And my shoulder hurts. But, frankly, it hurts when I'm sitting around. So I figured, the heck with that. I'm going to go hiking and roll the dice and hope for the best. The other thing was, my wife was in a car accident, very selfishly, when she was supposed to be taking care of me. And that really turned our winter and early spring upside down. We were both immobile, unable to drive, basically handicapped. But in any case, all of that is past, and I'm ready to launch. And for better or worse, when you're my age, I cannot wait. Who knows what will happen if the longer I wait, I'm getting older and older. So I'm going to be launching, flying tomorrow, and hiking Sunday. And I'll just take it easy the first week or two, hopefully build some conditioning and avoid injuries, and then be able to step it up. So that's the plan. And there's my backpack, which just got packed like 10 minutes ago. And there's some resupply boxes. That was about a half hour ago. I've already been to the post office with a couple of packages. That's the logistics on the CDT are more challenging than the AT, and even the PCT, which is itself challenging. This one is harder. But in any case, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you've watched me in the past, maybe you'll watch again. No great theatrics, just an old dude wandering along the trail. Talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks.